Hello everybody, welcome back to another Football Manager video with Brighton and Hove Albion. Today, we take on Liverpool in the FA Cup 5th round, hoping for a little bit of a miracle to make it through to this year's quarter-finals. And in our second game, we're going to be taking on Wolves at Molineux, who are hot on our heels in the Premier League. So as always guys, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please do drop a like. It's massively appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Hit that notification bell. It will let you know every single time one of these episodes and future episodes are uploaded. Now in Monday's episode, I noticed after I'd recorded it, edited it and uploaded it, after we talked about the transfers, I didn't talk to you about the players who had left the club at the end of the January transfer window. There were three. We had, actually, there were four. We lost Lloyd Moss to Tottenham Hotspur, one of our young players who is coming on quite nicely, plays in central midfield. Whether he'll make the grade or not in the future, I'm not too sure. So he went there for 675,000. Taylor Richards, who's doing quite well in real life at the moment, he's been making substitute appearances here and there for Brighton. He's gone out on loan to Rotherham for the season. Maybe we'll see if we can use him a little bit next year, see if he brings us a little bit of flair in that central midfield. He's out there on loan. And then the two big sales, which really helps to fund the Eddie Nketiah deal on deadline day. Florian Andone, he came back from his loan. I think he was at West Ham. He wasn't getting the game time at all, and he had to come back to us basically in the January window. He played a game for us, didn't do too well. His head really wasn't right, so I didn't think that we wanted to keep him at the club. So we did a quick fire sale to West Bromwich Albion. They're paying all his wages, 20k a week, and we sold him for 4.1 million. Not too bad for a player that we have never used. And then finally, this was a bit of a disappointing one. Moises Caicedo, who moved to Tottenham for 4.2 million. The fee could potentially go up to 4.9, but he looks as though he's coming on quite nicely, the 20-year-old Ecuadorian. So we will miss him. He really wanted to go there. There were a host of other clubs that were after him as well. So I think this might not go too well for us, but he's only valued at 2.7 million. He's made a few substitute appearances for Tottenham, so we'll have to keep an eye on him in the future and see how he develops. So they are our three transfers out for the end of the January transfer window. Sorry, 4 transfers. And it means that in total, we brought in 36 million of transfer funds this season, and we paid 70. So apologies that I forgot to say all that in the last video. Off camera, we've only played 2 games. Of course, in the last episode, we had a bit of a 0-0 ball draw against Tottenham Hotspur. Hopefully, we won't have a repeat of that today. We did narrowly lose out to today's opponents. The champions Liverpool, we played them at Anfield in the Premier League, lost by 2-1. Mo Salah gave them the lead in the 52nd minute. The former Liverpool man Kostas Tsimikas scored just 2 minutes later to equalise, but we couldn't quite hold on. And Pedro scored an 85th minute winner for Liverpool. The Brazilian, brought in the first transfer window, looks like a decent player, and he's not playing too badly actually. 7.14 in the league, started 10 games, 13 sub-appearances, 13 goals. Very, very decent he is doing, but he cost us all 3 points at Anfield. And then in the final game off camera, a Neil Maupay hat-trick helped us beat Newcastle United by 3-0. Maupay is doing so much better this year. All his attributes going up. I'm very, very pleased with him. He's still got another year on his contract. We may look to renew that in the summer, but he's been in fine form this year. So as far as the league table is concerned, we are in 8th place at the moment, 28 games played. Arsenal do have a game in hand on us, and we are 5 points off the top 6 as it stands, 4 points away from Leeds, so we need to keep plugging away. The game against Wolves today is going to be absolutely massive. They are hot on our heels, just 4 points behind us, but they have got a worse goal difference. But in their last fixture, they did beat Leicester, who were up in 6th, by 6-4. It was an absolutely amazing game. So Wolves, definitely capable of doing the business here and there. Now, one query I have got, and I don't know if you guys can help me out with this a little bit. Arsenal have just been and won the Carabao Cup for the second season running, which automatically qualifies them for the Europa Conference League. They're sat in ninth, so what my query is basically is if they finish above us, does it open up another spot? I'm not too sure. Maybe it'll still be the top 7 plus Arsenal that make Europe. Maybe it'll be the top 8. I haven't quite worked it out yet. I've had a little look at the rules. If we look at the Premier League rules, it says that 7th place makes the Euro Cup 2 playoff. The Europa League group stages are 5th and 6th. So whether there's going to be an extra spot somewhere, I'm not too sure. I guess we're going to have to wait until the end of the season to find out. But we need to make sure that we do our job first. Keep winning games. There's only 10 to go, and we need to finish as high as possible. And at the moment, we've got a really exciting team. Now, today's opponent's Liverpool. They are sat in 3rd position in the Premier League at the moment. The champions, 4 points behind Manchester United at the top and a point behind Manchester City. So it's a 3-way title race, definitely, with 10 games to go. You'd say that Chelsea are Chelsea are definitely out of it. They need to cement their Champions League place, and they're fighting for that with West Ham and Leicester. So it's shaping up to be a really good season. Tight down at the bottom as well, just 4 points between 20th and 16th. Big relegation battle going on. So we've actually got a really good Premier League season on our hands with 10 games to go. But before we can think about the Premier League, we need to concentrate on the FA Cup. It's Liverpool away. It's going to be a tough one. We narrowly missed out in the league. But I think that at the moment, we've got a really exciting side. Of course, we did beat Liverpool at home in the Premier League earlier on in the season. But going to Anfield is a whole different ask. But the team that we've assembled at the moment is looking really, really exciting. So this is what it's going to be to take on Liverpool today. Ramsdale will start in goal. Tsimikas, Dunk, White and Lamptey at the back. Berg, Basuma and McAllister in midfield. Of course, Jones cannot play against his parent club, who's had a very decent season, Curtis Jones, but he is ineligible. Up top, this is where the excitement comes. Iheanacho, Eddie Nketiah and Neil Maupay. On the bench, Veltman, Carbonic, Kiza, Gross, Mwepu, Trossard and Zakiri. Let's get into today's game. Can we pull off a miracle and make it to the last 8 of the FA Cup? Now, we are still waiting for Eddie Nketiah to get his first goal for the club. To be fair, he could have had a couple in the fixture against Newcastle off camera, but the main thing is that he's getting in the right positions. But early highlight here, looks like it's going to go to Liverpool with Naby Keita. Finds Trent Alexander-Arnold with the ball in. Shaqiri heads that one just over the top of the crossbar. Good start for Liverpool. I'm thinking of dropping an early encourage, but Liverpool on the attack again. Ball in. Mane all on his own at the back post. Finds Oxlade-Chamberlain on the edge of the box, and he puts it in the net. His 4th of the season. Liverpool take the lead early on. Definitely not the start that we wanted, and it doesn't reflect how well we played in this league fixture at Anfield. Can we create a chance, though? Here's Berg on the edge of the box. Finds McAllister. All the way back to Basuma. We've just got to try and keep the ball here. We'll go backwards to come forwards. Here's Tsimikas, who's been in fine form recently. But then, of course, I say it, and he gives the ball away. Liverpool will restart this attack with Alisson Becker. Comes down towards Mendes on the left. Taking his time. McAllister misses his tackle completely. Ball into the box. Pedro fires wide. Now, of course, Pedro got that winning goal late on in the league fixture, so he's going to have to be one that we look out for. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool on the attack again with Gomez. Cleared by Lewis Dunk, and Iheanacho will pick it up. Eddie Nketiah trying to get through on goal against Virgil van Dijk, straight at Alisson. So half-time, still 1-0 to Liverpool. They have been the better team, and I'm just going to tell the boys it's time for everybody to dig in today. I think we're going to make a half-time substitution as well because McAllister is having an awful game. So we'll take him off. We'll bring on Mwepu, who always puts in a solid performance for us. Let's get into the second half, see if we can work our way back into this game as Mendes picks it up in the penalty area. Good tackle by Basuma. Can he play it down the line? Almost. I don't know why the player didn't quite go forward for it. But it's going to be Liverpool coming back at us again, and Pedro's in, one-on-one, and Pedro fires wide. Haven't really been in the game at all at the moment. On the hour mark, as Liverpool come forward again, they seem to have all the time in the world in central midfield. They're really winning that battle. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, gets into the box. He's brought down by Tsimikas. It's going to go to VAR, but I think it's going to be a Liverpool penalty. Oh, it's not been given. Wow, we don't see that too often. Maybe our luck is going to be in. Right, Tariq Lamptey's also having a terrible game, so we're going to take him off. Let's bring on Joel Veltman, who's quite a consistent performer. I'm just looking on the bench at who could potentially fill the void for us. Let's put Iheanacho in the advanced forward position. Take off Eddie Nketiah. It's not been his day again. And I think with the final throw of the dice, we'll bring on Leo Trossard with 20 minutes to go. Let's see if we can get this tie at least into extra time. We're going to have to go very attacking as well and encourage. There's not much that we can do now. If anything, we may end up conceding a second goal. Here's Gomez. Finds Naby Keita. We need to try and nick it in here. Pedro gets his shot blocked. It comes back off Basuma. It is 2-0. It is all over at Anfield. We're out of the FA Cup at the 5th round stage once again. Well, hard luck. Full-time, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. The only positive that I can really take from the game is that last year we would have got absolutely hammered. We'd have been talking 4, 5, 6 goals last season. So a little bit better from us, but not the result that we wanted overall. On to Wolves, though, a game that we really must win to keep any European aspirations alive. So second game of the two then as we take on Wolves at Molineux. As with the Sunday game, some teams already played on the Saturday. Arsenal got a draw against Manchester United, leapfrogged us and put us down to 9th position. So a win or at least a draw is imperative today. We're 6 points behind West Ham, 4 points behind Leeds. So what we really need to do is try and keep that pressure on. This will be the team that can hopefully do the business. We've had to put Sherpen in goal. Ramsdale has been out with a little bit of a tight calf for 2 or 3 days that he picked up in training. So he doesn't make it today, which is a little bit worrying. So Sherpen starts in goal. The same back four in Tsimikas, Dunk, White and Lamptey. Berg, Bissouma and Vecino come in central midfield. And then the same front three that I have got the faith in. I'd like Eddie Nketiah to perform today if possible. He's not made the best start to his Brighton career, but he's still settling in. He's still getting his match fitness up. And I have every confidence that he can do it when it matters. He just needs that first goal for the club. So let's get into the second one. Fingers crossed we can get another 3 points in the Premier League. I do also think that if we lose this game, we may start to slip away a bit. Wolves have still got the core of the side, the real life side in Season 2. There's our team. Let's get straight into kick-off, but Wolves are going to be a really tough opponent, especially at Molineux. We did win here last year in what I think was the second game of the season, and Wolves had a really poor year. That ball's just been cleared off the line. Early warning signs from us in the 7th minute. But yeah, Wolves have had a better season this season, but they're still not quite in the top half. They won't think that they're out of this European race either. I think, in all honesty, as much as I hype it up and keep talking about Europe, I think it's a little bit of a far-fetched dream this season. I think next year, then yes, we could really, really be there, and we could have a 4th and final season in this save in a bit of European competition. But I think for us to do it this year would be a monumental push. So half-time, still 0-0. Stat-wise, we have had the better of the game. So we'll just tell the boys at half-time. I'm going to tell them that I'm happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. Let's keep that morale high. And then we'll drop an early fire-up in the second half. See how it affects them. But we've got some decent performances going on. Eddie Nketiah not quite doing it again. Maybe we need to switch those two around as Wolves take the lead. Raul Jimenez, 19th goal of the season. I was just thinking about switching them around. We may even take Nketiah off, but I don't know whether to play Nketiah in the false 9 position and play Iheanacho through the middle. Let's do it for 10 minutes and see if we can get anything. Right, not much going on with 20 minutes to go. Still 1-0 to Wolves, and we are slowly edging our way out. Let's bring on Leo Trossard. We may take off. Do we take Mopai off? Let's take Mopai off as well and bring on Aaron Connolly. And I think we will, let's make it a triple change. We'll take off Patrick Berg, bring on Curtis Jones for a little bit of creativity. But 1-0. Still the scoreline. We need to find something with 20 minutes to go. We're going to go very attacking, and we are going to encourage the boys a little bit as well. 15 to go. Can we find something? You know what's interesting to know as well? When was the last time that we won a game off camera, on camera? Could it be now? Cleared by Semedo. In towards Timikas. We need a late goal. We need something. Iheanacho's found it for us. The 91st minute of the... It's been chalked off. Brilliant. He must have been offside. Oh, this game. This game, man. Full time, 1-0 to Wolves. Well, can you believe it? But as I was talking about, I cannot remember the last time we won a game on camera. Maybe it was a couple of episodes back in an FA Cup tie or something like that. But we remain in 9th position in the Premier League. Not quite good enough. And I do think that the European dream could potentially be over. It depends on how other results go for us in the next few weeks. So here is that Premier League table as it stands. We've played a game more than a couple of the teams above us in Arsenal and Leeds. We've got Leicester up next in the league, which is going to be a massive game. If we don't win that, and it is away from home as well, so it's a real tough one. If we don't win that, then I think the European dream is over. Let's have a look at the fixture list. See who we have got coming up. As I said, Leicester next, which is massive. We will come back for the next episode. It depends on what's happening in the league. I think if things are still quite close, we'll come back for the 2 home games against Arsenal and Leeds, who are 7th and 8th respectively. It depends on if we can hang in there over the next few weeks, but we've got some real tough games coming up. If we're well out of it, we'll come back for the last couple of games of the season against Everton and Brentford. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please do drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new. And I'll see you all in the next one.